Hello, I'm Melody Worthington, and this is my video presentation of my digital game design that I've worked on over the last semester in Boise State University's EdTech 536. This game is called Presto the Great in the Maze of Time, and as I am an instrumental music teacher, which means I teach beginning and intermediate band and orchestra classes, I came up with this idea so that the kids could get some review and strengthen their knowledge of note values and tempo markings, which deals with speed or time in music. So let me go ahead and take you through my game here. Here's our opening scene. We've got some instructions. Use arrow keys to move Presto around. There will be occasional villains of note he will encounter, and he needs to defeat them, which he usually will do in a battle scene, which involves answering questions on a quiz. He'll start with 300 coins, but he can lose coins if he does not answer questions correctly or make wise choices as far as how many hints the player clicks on, because that is costly, and I made it that way on purpose so that students would be encouraged to not check out the hints and do the work on their own, hopefully, in their own knowledge and memory. So we'll go ahead and start the game here, keep it going anyway, and we'll start moving Presto through the maze. Alright, so here's our first set of villains of note. If the player is coordinated enough and quick enough to get him past this first villain and past this villain, he could end up being in the next maze scene. Or if he gets over here to the right, which is what I'm going to try to do. If I don't succeed, then it'll just go to the battle scene. So let's see if we can get into the next maze scene. There we go. Oop, there we go. Stuck. There we go. Alright, so here's that next maze scene. However, he can't get by this villain, so the player is forced to do some battle. Alright, so here's our first battle scene, and you'll notice Presto has his little wand there. You have the option, the player has the option of pressing pause for hints for a pop-up screen. And I'll go ahead and do this once. It will be costly, so I don't want to do it for the next battle scene. But we press pause, and it brings up a pop-up, music in time, with ideas, well, not ideas, but definitions basically of notes and their values, of tempo markings and their values, that sort of thing. And then we come back here to the battle scene, and these are questions about note values. It's basically music math. So we have a half note worth 2, quarter note worth 1, adds up to 3. Whole note worth 4 minus a half note worth 2 is 2. And then we've got a quarter note worth 1 and an eighth note worth 1/2. And all of these questions are in 4/4 time. The answer is 1.5 counts, but for just demonstration purposes, I'll show you what happens to the coinage if I click on the wrong answer. There we go, we lose 50 coins. So don't want to answer incorrectly anymore if we can avoid it. So we've got half note worth 2 minus a quarter note worth 1 plus a whole note. So that adds up to 5. And we have a little success sound when we answer correctly. We've got an eighth note plus an eighth note. Each of these are half a count, so that's 1 count, plus a quarter note, which is another 1 count. There we go. So we're up to 300, back to 300, I should say. So now we've got Presto here, and he's congratulated us and now telling us we're going to be entering into a very strange world, and it is very different than what he started out in. We need to find a special book with a key to opening the treasure room. And the treasure room is where we're going to find the magical object which we need to complete the game and defeat the giant villain of note. Again, we don't want to press on hint any more than we can or have to. So we'll move on into the adventure. This is the adventure part of the game. It's the same adventure game that I had that I worked on earlier in this semester on a different module. But I thought it'd be fun to throw it into this game for some variety and give the students something different to be working with. We got arrow keys that will move the scenes around the room and the other direction as well. And a hint if we need it. I'll go ahead and do this once here. It says, obviously, where would you be looking for a book but in a bookcase? So we're down to 100 coins, so I don't want to do that again. Alright, so here's our bookcase. Books, books, books. Click, click, click. Nothing happens. But then click on this sideways facing book. It's a little bit different. And there we go. We find a book that has something in it, a key, and now we need to figure out what to use the key with to get us into that treasure room. And here we go. So we've got a representation of the treasure room door, which is that door on the far side of the room. We've got the handle, the keyhole. We drag and drop the key over to the keyhole. He's happy with that. We have to now find that one more item, that magical item that we need. We could check our inventory. We see that we've got our key basically in our pocket, ready to go. And here's the treasure room. We've now entered into the treasure room. We opened it with a key. Looking around the treasure room. Looking for a magical item. I put this item here just as kind of a distraction. And if they need a hint, again, they can go to the hint, but I'm not sure I've got enough coins to do the hint right now. But essentially, it will direct them to this drawer here, which is the only thing we can, that is disguising anything, hiding anything. So we'll click on it, see what happens, and it opens. We've got the handle of the drawer here and the drawer, and inside it is this special new wand that looks a little more powerful, hopefully, which is what he needs to defeat the next giant villain. Checking the inventory, there it is in our inventory, and now we need to get out of this crazy maze and move forward into the maze as it continues. Bring Presto through. Alright, so we encounter another villain. This villain's a little different though. Pay attention to the coinage here. This villain, if we collide with it, resets the scene every time, but every time that happens, notice we lose 50 coins. So the player will quickly find out that that's not wise. So we need to move out to the right. Here we go. Alright, so now coming next is the giant villain. We know we need our new magic wand, so we'll check our inventory, take out the wand by clicking on it, and now he has it ready to go. You can't really see it, but it's in his pocket or something. And we come up, and here's this giant villain a note, much larger. Alright, special wand, special powers, up to 550 coins. Okay, so here's the glitch I run into with my game. I think it's related to, well, partly my coding and partly the fact that PCs in GameSalad don't cooperate as well as Macs in GameSalad. So I spent a week trying to find this and figure it out, but it's not happening. So I'm going to pause briefly and restart the game so that you can see what it's supposed to look like. So hold on a moment. Okay, so here we go. This is what the scene is supposed to look like. Again, pause for hints, coins. Now we're into tempo markings. I'm going to have to hustle through this a little bit to keep it under my 10-minute limit. Allegro means fast. Largo means very slow. Moderato means moderately. Presto, here we go. The relation of the hero in his name here. Presto means very fast. Again, though, if I press on a wrong answer, andante should mean moderately slow or a walking tempo, but let's just say moderately. And you'll see that it really took a chunk of coins away from us, but we still were able to defeat the villain, the giant villain of note. We're a winner. Presto's declared the master of time. And here's our credit screen. Music I used, actor sprites, and various miscellaneous images, and we have the option to reset the game if we would like. I'll pause that for now, but that is Presto the Great in the Maze of Time, and I thank you for your time and checking things out, and I appreciate the things I've learned through this semester. It's been a long road in some cases, but well worth it. So I will talk to you the next time.